up and sit down.
Hi guys, and welcome to part 3 of the Typhanaught project. I'm Dodge, this is Big Mech's workshop and paint studio, and this is the conversion corner video. So, it's been a month or two since I've had any time to get back on with this. This is the head that we built in the previous video, and at the moment lining up where the torso is going to go and how this whole thing is going to look. As if you're not up to date with the other videos, we are making a giant mutated orc. Big Nurgle orc because we can, because I like making weird stuff. So what I'm showing here is the stomach for the actual model, and its leg positioning is not where I want it to be. I'm going to end up pushing this stomach further up and out so it looks more pronounced, which means I'm probably in another video going to have to work on that torso all on its own, bulking out that stomach and making it look even bigger. Now this is the parts of the battle wagon that we were using in the previous video, just to show a template of where the head's going to go. But in this video we're going to work on the shoulders and the neck that we didn't finish last time. So these bits, they obviously fit together because they're both from the battle wagon, but what happens when you put these on is it makes a little lip at the back, and I don't want that lip at the back. I don't want the overhang. I want the model to be able to pop in there, or the head to be able to pop in there and be detachable so I can paint it. Because obviously with all this work and money gone in, I'm going to want a good paint job. And as you can see, when I put that on there, there's a lip and there's no detailing on that lip. And if that's going to be the back of the model of the Typhanaught, I want to get rid of some of that and, you know, put things like this on so it overlaps a little better and helps blend one part to another. So it just adds that level of detail, having the detail parts overlap nice and smooth. So obviously I'm going to want to get rid of that. So once I've chopped that off, that should now fit on the inside of the model, and I should be able to get a good bond there, and I should still be able to bond other things to it. Now I had a choice here. I could do that either way. It would fit either way, but I decided to do it the way with the least amount of detail on it towards the neck, as it's going to get covered up with other parts. And also there was some little notches there, and I decided I wanted those on the inside so I could use those for bonding stuff together and resting it upon there, as it's very, very fiddly, trying to build the inside of the neck behind the head. So it did take me a long time to get this right. And again, I'm deciding at this point I'm going to take apart this, take apart what I've done. That's why I only tacked this together. Just a bit of pre-planning for the next video, as well as eventually I'm going to have to start working on this torso, and it's going to look great. I've got some really cool ideas for it, but there's always a lot of back and forth. One of the problems I had was this part of the model, when it came to the torso, was in the way, but I do want that detailing where the arm connects, as we're going to put the big claw arm for the Gorkanaut on this, so it looks like it's swinging with a lot of force as it charges forward. So we're going to have to cut that section out so it can later be cut out and stuck onto the arm. So I've took the gut off the model, and I've cut that chest bit off as well. So now I should be able to overlay the armour and other detailing over the top of that. Obviously it's really difficult for me to get all these parts on here. I mean, sometimes you'll see me bring the vice onto the screen and start using the vice to hold bits of model, but I'm not Goro from Mortal Kombat. I don't have, you know, 2 sets of arms, so I can't hold everything all at once. And a lot of my conversion work, some people say they like my process, it's back and forth and it's checking out layers. Now I like the way that would sit across there. It's the part of a truck, and that's the side parts for the ram of a battle wagon, which we did in a previous video. I would like to layer those up, and I can obviously add green stuff and detailing underneath on the torso to have it digging into the model, making it look sore like it's swelling out. I do like the fact the one on the right here has got the bolt, and the bolt looks like it goes through the other piece. That's the sort of look I'm going for there. Layering bolts over other pieces, so it looks nice and solid and not just like it's stuff glued on, but like it's supposed to be there, which is another reason it takes me so long to get these videos done. I'm very fiddly with these. I don't just glue anything on. Everything has to be very precise and exactly where I need it. And as you can see there, you'll be able to overlap that and build up that stomach as well. So this is the head from the original video, which was a lot of fun to build. Still not 100% finished. Decided to put some paper clips in the back there and have it so I can slide this head on and off the shoulders, which makes sense. I'm obviously going to want to get in there with a lot of detail when I do the paint job, so I'm going to want to take the head off. The problem I had was getting this in the exact position I wanted. I want the head slightly angled, leaning to the right, so when it's bringing that left arm over, it really looks like it's running at something, and with the mouth open as well, so it's roaring, running at something, like a huge metal beast thing. It's going to look epic. And at this point, I'm also testing some ideas for building up the bulk of the neck behind it, although I'm showing you the process, how I go about thinking about these things while developing them. I don't actually end up using this part at the back there, although I was really tempted to. I was quite happy with the result I got otherwise. So you will notice with my process, I end up cutting lots of bits apart and then not even using them, so I am quite wasteful when it comes to bits, but I want my project to look exactly how I want, so I don't really care about the price of the parts. Does anyone remember when you used to be able to buy massive hordes of parts off eBay, and then people decided that they just buy those massive hordes of parts and then sell them individually, or in lots for like ridiculous prices? So eBay sucks for that now. Okay, I've replaced the pin paper clips with bigger pins there, because the paper clips couldn't hold the weight of that head. This is the part of, I think it's a kill can, or it could be a Sentinel, I'm not 100% sure. But the idea was to cut the ball off the top of that, and this is where I got the idea of building in the pipes for the neck. Because obviously the problem with an orc head and its shoulders and its neck is its ears come up to its shoulders and its shoulders come up over its head. So building the neck and the collarbone, I decided it'd be best to start filling those with bits of pipe and detail, and then green stuff in the torn flesh and other detail for the nurgle over the top of that, just layer after layer. So what I've done is I've just added some very thin bits of green stuff, and I'm going to let those set and start building a rough shape for the neck. So once they are set, they'll be hard enough for me to drill into, glue on, and start sculpting on and building other things as well. The other reason I've done it like this is so I can push it back into place, and that skin will then push flat against the original part, the battle wagon part that we've been building. Just building a bit of a template there, a bit more of an armature. As you can see, I've took the armature off the neck at the bottom, as we want to start working it backwards now, so it just pins in. I do realise there's a lot of video footage of me popping stuff on here and taking it back off again to show you what I'm doing, but I will try and edit this down as best I can for you. This is just me being really finicky with it, and I really want that head at just the right angle. So, and I needed to start filling in the shoulder parts. So what I've done here is I've cut some plastic hard parts out, and I put some angles on them. I want this torso part on. I was going to go on the inside, but I like the big bolts on the outside. It really makes it look more meaty, bigger, stronger, more orky. So I put these parts on, the plastic card parts on the side. So I've got a template, so when I slide the head in there, and also these parts, I can pin everything together. I do make a little template under there, like a rectangle which attaches to the head. One of the other problems I was having was getting the front of that chest piece that I want on there to stick exactly at the right angle. The head kept slipping to one side, and it kept banging into the shoulder piece. As you can see there, it's too far to the right of the camera. I need it further to the left of the camera. So the original head design, if you guys remember, you'll remember me playing with these parts and how I'm going to have pipes and cables coming out the back of the head. So started adding those on, although I haven't finished the top of the skull or the head yet, as I'm not sure whether I'm going to put a brain in there or some controls or some other details yet. As you can see, I'm trying to get these bits of green stuff here to fit right against the plastic card white bits at the side. And I got really sick of the model not staying where I wanted, so I made an entire new armature, much bigger. This armature is actually the size of the Gorkanaut itself, lengthwise, so I now know it's at least a scale. What I've done is basically just glue... Sorry, just a sec. What I've done there is basically just glue some long pieces of plastic card. These are all plastic card piping, and bolted them together. And what I did, and I think it was on a Friday, I set a huge piece of green stuff under the neck, positioned the head, and every now and again just adjusted it so that when it slides in the pegs now, it actually has a box to sit on. This is going to make life so much easier because this torso, it now rests upon the front of that chest as well, so I can cover up all the other parts when I do the neck and into the torso. So this was the major step that really changed everything, making that new armature, and I got my head almost into the right position. I started adding, these are just out of the junk box, like leftover cuts of other stuff, the bits of Sentinel, and just more of that piping that I used for the pegs. The idea would be to just have those running as an armature where I'm going to start building up the muscle texture and everything else. But I'm getting a nice solid box there now of, I can slide that in, I can slide it out, and I'm quite happy with that. These are a couple of bits of Orc motorbike. As I really liked the angle, I'm just going to lay those over the top of the green stuff and the piping. And what we're going to do is we're going to slowly start filling in bits and pieces here and there. It's actually a really simple process. I think the main part was getting the head to stay exactly where I wanted, and obviously making this so it fits nice and snug. So we've glued those on, and what we're going to do is we're going to add green stuff around the back, let that set so it's got a nice solid bond. Right, now I've taken apart some of the motorbikes from the Speed Freak kit and added that in there as well. I've attached that to the pipe with a pin and to the back of the model as well, where his neck would be. Now it's not glued to the back there, so I'm going to have to fill that in with some more piping and detail work to make sure it stays solid. But you can see I'm just adding little bits here and there, and then I'm having to take the model out, or the head out, sorry, and the neck to build on it and then slide it back in. So that's probably the thing that made it take the longest. And I was going to do more piping on the other side that matched, but then this bit is actually the underneath of the Glotkin. It's basically the Glotkin's crotch area, for less of a better word. It's the bit that fits in between the legs and the front and the back, which means I'd have no use for it because I was going to cover that up anyway. But it does make an extremely cool looking shoulder. And once I saw that, I thought to myself, that's what it needs to go there. And then some more detailing over it. As you can see, it doesn't quite fit, so it's going to need filing down, grinding down until it fits just behind it. I also had to take away a lot of the back of the head and the neck to make it fit. But now it looks like we've actually got some bulk to the model. And obviously, this bit here, it's got an overlap the way it's been built, so I can't slide that in. So instead of sliding it in under here, we're going to put some bits of sprue to bond that shoulder bit on, and then we're going to have the head and the left side of the neck come out and slide on top of it, layering it up the same way we did the jaw, so you can't see the gaps where the jaw comes on and off, because it's covered with the warts, but they slot together nicely. So, done a lot of filing and cutting, and we've almost got a nice snug fit there. Really had some nurgle that it was missing, as you know, at the moment it just looks very orky. We need to get some more nurgle in there. And again, I'm hacking up some more of the bikes because I'm always wasting bits. And everything in my army is converted anyway, so it probably, when I make bikes, they probably won't look like bikes anyway. That top of the head, I'm still not 100% sure what's going to happen with it, but we are going to start building that up. So I'm going to file off the entire pipe for that. The reason I'm taking the pipes off this is I just like the angle and shape for those. Hopefully get it to go under the jaw and around the back there. Not symmetrical with the other one, although I do really like the angle of the other one, and I was thinking a bit of symmetry. This way it looks like the pipes come out of the back of the shoulders and round the front. May even make some breathing apparatus. But as you can see, that's just been glued. The left shoulder's been glued on with nothing more than a bit of sprue that's been forced in there, let to set. And yeah, I really hurt my eyes focusing on this little red bit on that day, filing it down. But I don't know if you can see on camera, the little side of it at the left, there is a metal plate that comes out with screws in it, so it looks like it's screwed to the flesh. And now we've got some more piping that looks like it moves around. We've also put a little bit of green stuff piping, which I've shown you how to do before, on the underneath. And at the top, we've just added some random bits of pipe that we've found that are a little bit wider than the last one. So it looks like it runs from the back, around the front, and underneath the chest armour that we'll put on later on. Well, we'll at least pin that on. And yeah, as you can see, it's a case of taking stuff out, reinforcing it, making sure it fits. Last thing I wanted to do with this was glue something and have it glue in the wrong place, which is why I've been using the process of bonding things in ever so slightly and then reinforcing them with green stuff or other bits of plastic. I was tempted to make more of that shoulder, but that's not what we end up doing. I just pushing this underneath the sprue that's there, just so it's got a nice solid bond. And obviously the other parts, what I decided to do was start bulking those up to make them look a bit more nurgly. But again, I'm adding little bits on here as a template, just faffing around with it. But I did decide not to do too much on this side, as the angle of this neck and shoulder part on this side with the arm swinging is going to be really important later on. So until I've started the torso and the left and right arm, I don't want to do too much on that, as I may need to take it off and redesign it. But of course, as you can see, I've got my leftover green stuff bits, which I always turn into little balls so I can use as warts and other details, and you can just fill those gaps in. To cover up the gap between the nurgly shoulder and the back, all I did was roll another one of those pipes using a comb and some green stuff, and I'm trying to mix and match so it feeds around all the other details, and then I'm going to attach that to the back of the head, but then cut that off. I'm going to add a little bit of plasticard in there, or plasticard piping that should slot over that green stuff bit when it's done, just to add some more detail. Now, as you can see, we didn't get too much done in the length of this video. We really didn't. And obviously I pinned that front on there so you can get a good sense of what that's going to look like. But what we do have is detail absolutely packed into this. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some more of this project, especially that arm and that torso. And we will be going back and forth. I've got to fill that neck in, but can't do that till I've started the chest and the torso part. So that's all there really is for this one. It is a shame I didn't get more done, but it did take me a long time to get all these parts in the right position and get them right. So I do hope you enjoyed watching the process and see how the Typhanaught's coming on so far. I've got a big thank you to give out to all of our patrons who have supported this channel. We have a big thank you to give out to the Up Boys: Matt, Ludwig Hofbauer, D-Wack, Mark, Dave, Tom, Spiky Dude, Warren, Ben, and White Metal Gaming. You are our top paying patrons. You guys are awesome. And of course, don't forget to check out Element. Want to help support the channel and get cheap models and hobby supplies? Click the Element Games affiliate link in the description for 15 to 25% off. Use the promo code BIG223 on checkout to earn crystals, as crystals equal cash in your Element Games account that can be spent on your next purchase, so everybody wins. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, share with your friends, and check out all of our tutorials and videos. I can't wait to get back on with this Typhanaught project and bring you a better video with something a bit more in it. So, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.